It's now time for the J Burke Home Show on K-Law 101. For the next 30 minutes, you'll hear information that will save you money around your house. With your hosts, Eric Sherem and Jay Burke.
And a pleasant good morning, Southwest Oklahoma. Here it is, another Saturday, and it's another J Burke Home Show. Each and every Saturdays from 9 until 9:30. Jay, how's it going?
Going good. Good morning.
Of course, this is an opportunity to kind of still close out summer because, even though, and we're not, I think the weather guy said that not too long ago about how many days away we are for the first day of fall. Still a ways away. But, when football starts back and the kids go back to school, we're kind of in fall mode. But we're going to talk about that transition of what you need to do to take care of from summer mode into fall. But before we get into that, we need an update from you, Jay, about the rebate program. And I know that we say that the hourglass of the Little Sands is going through as fast as it can be, and time is definitely running out, right?
Yeah, they have called us and told us to every single one, the minute that we get one that's somebody that's wanting it to use the program, that we are to call it in instantly. That's how instantly. They said because it could any day be gone. They will never tell us exactly how many dollars are left, and so we are definitely in the mode of everybody we've talked to, we're trying to tell them you need to make a decision right away because the money will be gone. Now, will the money come back in January and February? At some point, yes, next year they'll have some money. But the point is we don't know what the rebate system will look like. Will it be the same as this year? We don't know. They used the money up so quickly this year. They may change the rebate amounts, which may not make it as appealing as it has been in the past. We don't know. We know that they're going to try to make the money last, or we're told they're going to try to make the money last the entire year next year. Well, if they do that, that says to me they're going to lower the amount of rebates available. And if they do that, then you'll just miss out. And so we still have like I say, they told us about 2.5 weeks ago that they were down to the last $100,000. And so we're definitely concerned that we had some customers that had not made a decision yet, and thank goodness most of those have decided that they wanted to do the program. And I'll be honest with you, it's still the best thing out there. It's amazing to me that just in the last few years to be able to tell somebody, hey, we had a customer yesterday that did PSO and CenterPoint rebates and got a little bit over $8,000 because they had two systems. And so they got almost all of the PSO money, and they also got $4,000. Well, actually, they got a little more than that. They got $4,000 because they traded both units from electric to gas, and the gas company brought the gas to the house. So they got $2,000 for each furnace. They also went to gas hot water tanks. Hot water tanks are around $1,100 installed. They got $900 from CenterPoint to install them. So the water tanks cost them $200.
Wow.
You can't beat that deal. So they went from electric to gas and got that money. Then they said, do we still qualify for PSO money? And the answer to that is yes. So they said, well, how much do we get for that? Well, we get about $2,500 a unit. So we almost tapped out that entire $5,000 for the PSO program on their house. So you end up thinking they got somewhere around $10,000, $11,000 rebates off the invoice instantly.
Yeah.
And the guy said, oh my gosh, I just never had an idea.
Well, it's almost too good to be true. And I know that if you're just, joining us in this process, because I know I've been educated enough, to talk about it again. But, these rebates are set up by these companies so they don't have to do another big grid for PSO, which is billions of dollars to make. And so they want to make us more efficient. So that's why these rebates are existent. Because I think we need to stress for the people that think, well, this is too good to be true. And what's the catch? And I have to buy a whole new system or replace a whole new system. And we talked about there's different levels and you don't have to. And then number two is the third party person really makes the decision. So it's not like Jay pulling these numbers up out of the sky and saying, right, this is how much you're going to get. It has to be realistic, and there is a formula that they go by, and a third-party tester comes in and makes sure so that exactly is what's needed is what gets. So, they're very stringent, I think, with their money, and they should be. If they're handing out the rebates, they say, well, you better, go to our protocol, and here it is. So that's kind of how it's set up, but you can see, but those are outstanding savings.
Well, and we've never, ever, I've been in the business over 20 years, and we have never had an opportunity for people to actually get what they're getting today. And the utility companies, both PSO and CenterPoint, have both stepped up to the plate. back in the day when you had an old yard line, an old gas yard line, and the gas line went bad, a lot of the old heating and air guys would say, you know what, just put in all electric unit. You don't need gas anyway. You're going to have to put in, it's going to cost you $2,000 for the gas line and then a new furnace and it, blah, blah, blah. My dad, I remember hearing it, and people would say, yeah, just put $220 into that closet and that's all I got to do. And I forget that gas line. Well, CenterPoint said, you know what, that for most people, that was an expensive decision because even though, yes, it was cheap up front, their electric bill was astronomical doing total electric, like electric heat with air conditioning, not even a heat pump at times. Most of the time it's just electric heat. So it's like plugging in electric space heaters through your whole home. I mean, very, very expensive. And we've gone to people this year that really amazed me, Eric, because some people would say, my electric bill is $500 or $600 a month. Well, heck, who in the world can afford $500 or $600 a month with gas? My gas bill is really low in the summertime. Well, yeah, you don't use it except for hot water, maybe, or maybe your stove. Right. But the electric bill was $500 or $600, and I'm talking about houses that are 1,500-1,800 square. These are not big houses. These are normal size homes that are in Lawton, most in surrounding areas. These are normal homes, and these people are saying I'm paying $400 to $600 a month in utilities, and almost every single house that we've done, people have saved an average of over 40%. 40%. So we can almost cut your utility bill in half. And so those who need it, and how many of us have, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, whatever that number is, depending on what size system you have and what all you need. But how many of us have that just sitting aside that we can just write a check? Not everybody. And so we have opportunity that we can get you financed. Most people, there's people that have paid $100 a month in a utility bill, in a payment, and we've saved them that much in utilities. Yeah. So if they got brand new system, 10-year parts and labor, warranties.
And then when that's paid off, then they're saving it, Yeah. So, it was paying it, now it's saving it. So,
one lady told me, she said, I'm saving $22 a month because I did it. She said, it pays me back $22 a month, and I got a brand new system.
After doing it.
And I love it.
Right.
And she said, my house is so cool. The system is so quiet. It runs so well. So all those things, but you're right. You don't have to buy a super high-end efficient unit. You can buy, it's basically a regular air conditioning system, but it's, for most people, it's much more efficient. We go to houses that the units are 20 to 30 years old, and people think, well, it still works.
Old Bessie, she's still cranking
turning.
out.
That's right. But the sad part is they're paying for it because the utilities just get higher and higher because the units become less and less efficient. And so, but we've helped a whole lot of people. And we still have a few days, hopefully, left to get a few more people on board. We'll do them on after work. If you need us, you call me and I come out personally and do the estimates. It doesn't cost you a penny. They're absolutely free. And if I don't think you qualify, I'll tell you, hey, listen.
Well, because the third party is going to tell you. Well, if you don't tell them, someone's going to say no. They don't qualify for the rebates.
I don't like making myself look crazy, so I'm not going to try that idea.
That's right.
But and if they come to your house and your duct is tighter than what they said, they don't. There's no charge for us to get them out there to show you what it's like. And we have the same testing equipment. And if you think that your unit is leaking and your ductwork's bad and you've got no air in one room, and how many times do I go to a house? It's probably every day. That every house I go to, well, those two rooms over there, I get no air in, or I get no heat in the wintertime. And these rooms over here, I freeze to death. Well, it's not balanced right. It's not sized right. And so I need to look at all of that. But sometimes it's a minor fix. Sometimes it's just fixing it, putting a damper on, that costs $50. It's not like you have to say, well, just because I don't have the right airflow, Jason will come tell me I need all new ductwork. That is not what we're going to say. And I'm going to be honest with you and up front. If you don't have enough insulation, I'm going to tell you about it. If your windows are really bad, I'm going to tell you. If your doors are leaking and your fireplace is leaking, and I'm going to tell you. That doesn't mean you have to do anything. And PSO doesn't say you have to do these things to get our program, but they're going to help you if you want to do things to seal that up. They're going to give you money to do that. And so most people end up saving more money than they would if they just bought the unit and did nothing else. They get ductwork, they get insulation, they get house sealant, they get all kinds of different things that they normally wouldn't get. And we found some things in some people's attics that really kind of spooked me. I mean, I guess over the years, I've gotten kind of used to it, but you run into houses that have open bare wires in the attic and things that can burn a house down. So our job is not only to come and tell you about your heating and air, but when we see something in your attic, I mean, we're not electricians, but we're sure going to tell you this is something you better get checked out, because somebody's been up in your attic at some point and left some wires hanging, and we've seen some stuff. We also have really gotten into helping people with attic fans, solar attic fans. They're amazing. And they're not that expensive depending on the size of your house. These solar attic fans that we install.
He's replaced the little whirly birds that we used to have.
That
back
squeak
in the day.
and make a noise, and you gotta. My grandfather would make me get up there and cover it with a plastic, with the big green trash
garbage bag. Yeah,
and then duct tape
I've
it.
seen that. Yeah.
We did it. My grandmother would say, "It's almost winter. Get up there and cover them." My grandfather and me would crawl up on that roof and try to tape
It's
them
like
off.
Christmas lights
It
every
was.
year.
Oh my gosh, here we go again. And then you'd undo them, and then there comes spring, and then they're wah, 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 they make that noise, that drives the whole neighborhood crazy.
Right.
It never stops. And so
Puts a little WD-40 up on there.
my grandfather used to make me get up there with one of those little oil cans, and I'd have to pump oil down in that thing. And it stopped for a month or two till it rained, I guess. But then it brought back to do it. My grandmother, get back up there. But now they make them so quiet. I mean, they're solar operated, so there's no electricity. And you can get them that do the entire attic. And honestly, around $800 can get you one that does everything, and they've warrantied up against hail at I can't even remember the size. It's softball size hail at 140 mile an hour. I mean, it's crazy, but they're whisper quiet. You can't hear them, and almost everyone, if you don't have an attic vent, you need one, because automatically you can save 15%, but it also qualifies for a federal tax credit because it's solar operated. And so we can help you sign up to get the federal tax credit. And I believe the federal tax credit on the fans are $200. So if you pay $800 and you need a tax credit, you're going to get a $200. We'll get you the form, fill it out for you. You get $200 off that instantly. So for a nice fan, because your house really needs to get that hot air out. If you leave it just closed up in the top, even though insulation is great and all, it's kind of a blanket we put up in the attic. And we get it blanketed off, but then if your attic's 150 degrees, the walls start getting hot, the brick gets hot. So how can we offset that? We offset that with a fan. It pulls it through the soffits, brings it out through the top, and it's quiet. And it's these fans, I didn't even know they were on. Now I'll be honest with you, I've got a fan on my house when I built my house it's got electric to it, and I had to have an electrician come, put a wire to it, and it has, and this thing has a thermostat too that tells it, what temperature. But mine is hooked up to power, so it costs me money to run. I've already had to change the motor in it once in 10 years. This thing has they've got like 10-year warranties. They last forever, and I mean they look good. They're not like something that's going to be an eyesore on your home. And they're flat and they're very attractive. They're on some of the newest, brand new homes in some of the biggest areas that people have in Dallas. I've seen them all over because people are they're interested in making sure that their homes are energy efficient and that they're getting rid of that heat. So not only do they get rid of the heat, but in the wintertime they don't operate, so they stop. But the thing that got me the most was what the difference it made in the heat that was in the attic and how it kept you from having that 150 degree, 160 degree heat baking down onto that insulation. So how much more are we helping ourselves? And so all those things make a difference. And like I say, that we install all of that. There's nothing that PSO asks to be done that we don't do. And if you'd asked me 5 years ago, Jay, will you be blowing insulation in someone's house? My answer would have been no, because I didn't think we'd ever get involved in insulation. Now we have our own insulation. We have our machines that we blow them in. So that's our job now. Our industry has changed, and I'm glad it's changed because we've become just like
you're helping out. I mean, you're not just selling a unit and then walking out and hope that they keep old Bessie going for 30 years. Yeah.
And we're making it safe. I mean, sometimes we go to a house that their electrical meter that's on their home is too small. That's one of the things we have to check. We will instantly get a hold of an electrician. They come and give us a price to put a meter. Because these old meters, some of them are 60 amp meters. They're supposed to hold up to 60 amps of usage. Well, you just add one air conditioner that pulls 35 amps, and you've already used half of the capacity of that meter. Well, that meter was designed back in the 1960s when nobody had central heat and air. They had central heat,
Okay.
but they didn't have central air.
Right.
And they didn't have 4 computers and a TV and a microwave and a coffee pot and electric stoves and electric dryers and washing machines and all the things that we have today. And so it means a lot to make sure that your home is safe. Nobody wants their home to burn down or to have a problem. And it doesn't cost you anything for us to tell you about it. And, you know, we get an electrician out there that will give you a price to get it right. So we try to make it your home safe and energy efficient.
Very educational. And, you know, I think that's the key is the more we know, the better off we are, as opposed to saying, well, it works, you know, and then, well, how well is it working? And so basically we talked in the very beginning of the program that we are going to be transitioning into summer, into fall. And you told me that there's some things that you want us to know about that.
Yeah, well, every summer we introduce moisture into our ductwork because air conditioning has moisture.
Sweats.
It makes water, and it goes down the drain off the coil, and some of that moisture makes it into your ductwork. I don't care how good of air conditioning it is, at some point, some of that moisture makes it through there, and it carries through your ductwork. And so over time, we start to have, you know, if you've got especially if you have any kind of old ductwork or ductwork that is dirty, it really starts to catch. And so you end up having, and I hate to say the word, but you have mold and you have bacteria and things that start to grow inside your ductwork. And so before the heating season starts, I recommend to everyone to, you know, if you haven't had your ductwork cleaned in the last 4 to 5 years, every 4 to 5 years, you ought to have your ductwork cleaned. Have your evaporator coil cleaned, have your furnace cleaned, have your air conditioner cleaned, have it done so that it's a complete clean one time every 4 to 5 years. Now, and I'm not talking about regular service. I'm talking about a deep clean where we clean the coils and we go inside and clean your evaporator coil, which is not something that you do during a regular service. That's taking the whole coil apart and cleaning it, cleaning the pan where the water runs down into it. Make sure there's nothing growing in that pan, cleaning the drain lines, making sure they're all clear. But the key to this is if you have this stuff growing in there and then it starts to dry as we turn to winter and we turn on our heaters, and our heaters put off a lot of heat. And so now all that stuff that was wet, that moisture, now dries out. As it starts to dry, then it throws it through your entire home. And in the wintertime, we spend so much time inside our homes. No longer are we out on the patio cooking and hanging outside and we're in the house. And it's cold outside, and the wind's blowing. It's out of the north at 100 mile an hour in Lawton, Oklahoma. You know,
not quite, but
it's a blizzard. We're inside, and so you're inside. You're cooped up, and now you're wondering, why am I had the worst headaches. I always feel lightheaded. You know, there's things that we need to check. You know, we need to make sure, number one, that you've got great ventilation and you have no carbon monoxide issues. We need to check your hot water tank and your furnace and any gas appliances you have. But we need to also, if it's the ductwork that needs to be cleaned, that's easily done. We have a machine that brushes the inside of the ductwork and sucks that dirt and dust and hair and skin and everything else that's built up inside that ductwork into a HEPA filter machine, and it never makes a mess inside your home because there's no mess at all. And we clean all your grills. We make sure that it's spotless clean. And then we use an antimicrobial spray that we actually, it's a chlorine-based spray. It doesn't hurt pets. It doesn't hurt people. And it basically goes through the house and is circulated through there, so it kills all bacteria, mold, spores, things like that would start to grow. So we're eliminating a lot of health issues early on, and now is the time. Don't wait until it's the middle of winter again and everybody's busy working, doing heater change outs, because we will be again. And then they have to put you on a list. We have the duct cleaning machines. We have a duct cleaning crew that are ready to come out and do the job for you. We can actually give you a quote on the phone, or you can go to JJBurkAir.com, go online and see where it says air duct cleaning. Click on that link, and it'll actually, you can go around and count the number of registers you have in your ceiling and how many returns you have, and it'll ask you what kind of system you have and a few things like that, electric or gas, and is it in the attic or is it in the house. It'll ask you those things, and you can put that in there, and it will give you a quote online. So you don't have to wait for Jay to come out. We'll actually give you a heating and air quote. Now, one of the things we are running is a special. It's just that time of year that we can do some duct cleaning things. We're running a special, and we add a whole house It's actually a whole home. It's an in-duct air purification system. I know that's a mouthful. Basically, it's a UV light that kills all that bacteria, mold, and spores and never lets it get started no matter what. Now, this light is easily installed. We install it in your return side of your system. You don't have to have major construction done. It can be on an existing system. It can be on one that's been in there 10 years or one that's been in there a year. And it works in conjunction with your existing filters. So basically what we've done is we've come up kind of with a bundle package. If we put on the UV light as well as do a duct cleaning, no matter the UV light the UV light usually is about $450 by itself. So we're doing a special per system, the UV light and the duct cleaning, $489. Everything that's totally done, totally cleaning, totally putting the UV light in, making it right. So $489, and we can get you on the list, but now's the time before things start getting hot and heavy again. We're still busy from summer, but because here in Lawton, Oklahoma, it felt like it was 110 this last week again. So we're still busy, but we can get you on the list. Just get ready to do some duct cleaning and make sure that you're going to be healthy throughout the winter.
What do you think percentage of people actually would think that they have to clean their ducts? I mean, before I started with you and knowing this program about the importance of it, I'd say, well, how can you even clean your ducts? My ducts are all connected, I mean, they're all from one end to the other. Why and how would you ever go in there and clean it? So I think for the most part, and then when you told us about how much pounds of stuff that comes out of there. Well, I think before I knew you in the program, I just thought, well, it is what it is. It just has to sit up there because there's no way you can get at it. So how difficult is it to get at it, to go clean all that stuff? And, I know the grills, you just take that down. That's an outside thing, but I'm talking about getting inside my ductwork. Are you going to have to cut a hole in my duct and then, go through it, or what, how does that work?
Now, there are some different duct cleaning machines that they drill holes in your ductwork and they, blow air through it and slap a rope down through there. It's silly. It doesn't work. I mean, okay. It's just like, standing back 200 yards and using a light water hose to wash your car with. It's not going to work. It might get a few things off, but it ain't going to get it clean. This thing we use is called RotoBrush, and it actually has a brush on the end that meets the size duct that you have inside your home. So if you have a small duct in one room and a big duct in another room, we change the head to meet the size duct that's on there. So on the end of this hose, it's got about a 2-inch hose, and it's a huge vacuum hose is really what it is. Okay. And this thing brushes and sucks that back off that brush the entire time. So we take down your grills in each room and go from that grill all the way back to the furnace.
Back to the unit. Okay.
So we go all the way in with it brushing, go all the way out with it brushing. So when it's brushing both ways, it's sucking it out the whole time. Wow. And so it gets it totally clean, shiny clean. It makes a world of difference. And so many times we get up in somebody's attic and they say, well, you clean my ductwork and I need you to clean it. But I want you to look, these two rooms don't have air. And you get up there in the attic and their ductwork is in shambles. And people don't know. I mean, how many people get in their attic to look at their ductwork? And even if you get
Christmas
up there,
decorations.
Well, yeah.
Clark W. Griswold just put about 50 pounds of lights on it and crushed your ductwork. Probably.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah. I mean, we have people.
It just happens. I know.
It just does. I mean, and so people have crawled across it for years and they flatten it out, and you think, I'm good. When does ductwork go bad? Well, no, not unless somebody crawls across it and smashes it flat. It doesn't usually go bad.
Air can't get through there.
Yeah.
It's like it can do a lot of things, but it can't do that.
But
crimp your hose and the water hose. See how much water comes through there,
It's the same thing.
Right.
And so anyway, we will tell you, and we've been to some homes that we said, cleaning your ductwork is not going to help you because your ductwork is totally apart. There's places up in the attic that are totally apart. So before we ever start a duct cleaning job, we're going to evaluate your ductwork when we get there and make sure that it's ductwork that can be cleaned, so that we're not just we don't want you to waste your money. I'd rather you make a plan to replace it next spring or whatever, rather than waste your money on a duct cleaning that, you really didn't get anything out of. But these UV lights that do the whole house, they take care of that. And I know it's gross and sounds disgusting, but
it's on your fan blades too. So just say whatever's on your fan blades, just multiply that times years, and that's what's in there.
It's just disgusting.
I think that's a very good visual.
Yeah, it just makes me. It's just and all those years I used to clean them and didn't wear gloves. I didn't have much sense. But I didn't have a clue what I was dealing with. And most people think it's dirt.
Or dust, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just dust. It's dust on my
It's a little bit of you.
It's a whole lot of you. And so basically we want to clean it out. But when it gets dry and it starts being blown through your house, just imagine you sitting there and letting somebody take a dirty hose and blow in your face when your heater comes on all the time. It makes you sick. And
now you're getting too graphic.
Well, people start coughing and they start saying, I don't feel good. I've had headaches.
Wonder why. Yeah.
I feel like I've got the flu. Well, you don't have the flu. You have bad ducts. You've got dirty ducts.
You've made a new prescription. You don't have to go to the doctor. Just tell the Jay will say, I know what it is.
Call and let's fix it.
Okay.
But we're there to help and at least look at it. And so now's the time. Call us. Get in on the special. The $489 special, and like I say, we're here to help. That includes the light, that includes the duct cleaning, clean the entire system, making sure the blower wheel's clean, making sure the evaporator cools are clean, getting all that done, and then make sure it's that time. I know we're mid-September, but I promise you, winter, all of a sudden we'll need to turn on a heater in the middle of the night. It never happens on a day where, hey, on Monday morning it's going to get cool and we're going to turn our heater on.
Right.
No, it happens on Saturday afternoon. A northerner blows in for just one night, and everybody's like, it's freezing in the house. Turn the heat on, honey. And turn the heat on, and the heat doesn't work. So now's the time to start thinking about your maintenance times. Let's get in there. Let's go ahead and get your system cleaned up and ready for winter. Make sure it's going to fire off. Make sure everything's right for you in your heating system. So call us, call the office, talk to Lindsay or Mandy at the office. They will help you get it scheduled up. So that we can get out there and take care of that for you.
1-800-AIR-REPAIR or JJBurkAir.com. And we'll be back to conclude our show for the J&J Burke Home Show right here on KLAW 101.
Hi, I'm Jay Burke from J&J Burke Heating and Air. At J&J Burke, we just combined the rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy to save you thousands on the most energy-efficient systems available. J&J Burke is a 2014 PSO Partner of the Year for the entire state of Oklahoma. We are the best at getting you the rebates. So call us at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or go to jjburk.com and learn how you could save thousands today. I'm Jay Burke, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
All right, the J&J Burke Home Show each and every Saturday morning from 9 until 9:30. As before we leave, we talk about the necessity of getting your maintenance, but that also is a great way to talk about your comfort club because it's a great opportunity that you get front of the line, and that's important.
It's very important, especially when something goes bad. But you also know if you're a Comfort Club member with us, you never pay a maintenance fee. You never pay a service call. You never pay $1 for us to come out and a service call. Never, ever, never, ever, ever. No matter what level
you're at. You also
get
discounts, too, on stuff.
15%, 30%, 50%, depending on the level that you want to be at. And some people, they can't believe it. They say, I don't ever have to pay a service fee. Never a service fee. So call us. One of the girls will talk to you about the Comfort Club. We'll get some guys out there, get a guy out there to do the maintenance on this. And we've got some great maintenance guys that are very well trained, and they know exactly what to do to take care of you and get you ready for wintertime.
All right. So jjburkair.com is where you can go online. And then if you want to talk about that stuff that, you want to clean your duct cleaning and you want to get a free estimate, you can do that. Or you can call 1-800-AIR-REPAIR. Get Jay out there. Rebates, they're almost gone. So if you're really thinking about doing that, get Jay out there before that's gone and you have to wait till winter time. So great opportunity to do both.
Absolutely. Boomer.
All right. Yeah, sooner. That's right. That is for this weekend. And we'll do it again next Saturday from 9 until 9:30. The J&J Burke Home Show right here on KLAW 101. Have a great and safe weekend.
Join us this time every Saturday morning for the latest technologies and professional advice to help you save money around your house. This has been the J&J Burke Home Show.
I'm Jay Burke, and you can count on my company because you can count on me. Hi, I'm Jay Burke from J&J Burke Heating and Air. At J&J Burke, we just combined the rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy to save you thousands on the most energy-efficient systems available. J&J Burke is a 2014 PSO Partner of the Year for the entire state of Oklahoma. We are the best at getting you the rebates. So call us at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or go to jjburk.com and learn how you could save thousands today. I'm Jay Burke, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.